One of the biggest mistakes people make when they buy a house in Florida, and they're not surprised by the price, but they're surprised by the hidden fees that comes with the purchase of the home, such as insurance. So in this video, we're going to talk about insurance and hidden fees and what to avoid, right? So if you are buying a home in Florida, Fort Myers area, or anything here on this coast, I'm a local realtor here in Fort Myers, Florida. So I'm going to talk about Fort Myers area and things around here in this video. So let's rock and roll. In this video, we're going to cover flood zones, insurance costs, roof and hurricane requirements, and hidden costs that buyers don't expect to pay, but they all have to pay if they're going to close, especially if you're at the closing table, then you're like, what is these fees? Right, you want to avoid that. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about flood zones, right? So flood zones, you have different flood zones, you have different areas. If you see on Zillow, Realtor.com, or Realtor sends you MLS, you have X500 AE, right? X500, it's close, it's within 200 feet of flood zone. X zone, it's not in the flood zone. AE, you are in the flood zone. Those are the majority times you will see that they're posting out there. So, but again, if you might say, hey, the house is X500. Awesome, cool. If any edge of the house, garage, corner of the house, just 2 feet touching the house, your lender will require you to get a flood insurance. You might say, well, it's an X500. Too bad. It needs the flood insurance. So definitely got to check it out. You definitely got to know. And also, all the flood zones are different, right? So if you, majority times, if you're on a canal, majority times you are in a flood zone, but there is some canals that are not in a flood zone, especially if the elevation of the house is higher. And you can, if there's a steam wall foundation, you can go to FEMA and tell them, hey, listen, I want to get this thing removed from a property. Then you can't do that as well. But there's steps you gotta take. But FEMA also said, hey, there is zones that there's high chance of getting flooded. Some areas are not so high chance of getting flooded, but they still put in a flood zone. So you do have insurance that some areas will cost $5,000. Some areas will cost only $1,100, $1,200 a year, which they are in the flood zone, but they never get flooded. Don't ask me how they do this. It's very weird, very strange, but I think they take the elevation of the property and they go from there to see what's the risk, how near the water is, and stuff like that. There's some homes I sold it that been built in 70s and 80s and never got flooded. People who bought it, they're aware of it or anything like that. So definitely got to know the flood zone, because that is going to be a lot of money, especially if you are closer to the beach. It will cost you a lot of money. Okay, insurance requirements. Let's talk about insurance requirement, guys. Insurance companies in Florida definitely close at the edge of the roof, impact windows. So if you have a house, you definitely got to do 4.0 wind mitigation. Those two inspections are different than the home inspection, because in Florida, 4.0 wind mitigation actually will give you discount points when you try to get a home insurance. In my other video, we'll talk about newer home and older home. Newer home will have a newer AC, newer roof, right? A newer water heater, newer electrical panel, 3 toenails, ice paper underneath the roof. So you have all those things. Impact windows, which is a big benefit. Impact windows and doors, a big benefit than just regular windows. Majority of builders are start putting impact windows because they make, not putting them in there, it's so little, but the sale point, it makes it so much stronger. So if you're buying a new home, definitely get yourself, definitely gotta look out for those major things, because they will look at it. And if the roof, it's all, if it has 2-3 years left in the roof, you will not get insurance. And if the roof is 15 years, there's their max thing. Every year the insurance will increase just because your roof is older. That's why I always advise to shop around and see if your insurance broker can get you a better deal, better the home insurance. I shop around for my home insurance. Actually, this year they reduced it by themselves. So surprise! I loved it. I loved it that I had to call them and tell them to get them a new insurance. So that's definitely gotta look at it. Hurricane protection, again, talk about the shutters, impact windows, and again, that's the wind mitigation where you definitely need to get in place, because that is big one. Ice paper, when they put, instead of just a regular paper on the roof, ice paper is like you usually see that in northern states, you see Chicago, right? Or what else? Washington, Ohio. You see this ice paper. They put in like a first layer, and the rest of it put down regular paper. Here you actually get more discount insurance if you have an ice paper through a whole roof, which I did at my house. I loved it. And even during the hurricane, if they rip off your shingles, you still have this ice paper underneath of it, you'll be protected and you'll be fine. Also, the hidden costs, guys, hidden costs that buyers can expect. Besides the mortgage, they have to pay for it. It's, again, the flood insurance. We talked about that. Then if you're buying a home in HOA, the HOA fees, assessment fees, is there enough fees in HOA? Is there gonna be what's your monthly HOA fees that you'll be paying quarterly, annually? Where's gonna be the next increase? Because if it's newer community, haven't built out yet, they might not be charging you the full max amount, and might start at $250. By the time they're done with the community, it could be $500 a month. So it's like a whole payment of car payment, right? Also possible storm preparation that you have to do every year. I love it because it gives me ability to clean out my yard, but it takes time off your work, and that's gonna cost you money to go do it, right? So if you're not working, you spend time somewhere else, that's cost. I put it as a cost. So definitely gotta watch out for this information, guys. Insurance that we talked about, the cost of insurance, different areas. And different things, and obviously I have a video with insurance guy who talked about more details in regards to insurance, but that's the hidden fees that you gotta watch out for. You definitely have to have your agent tell you all those details, ask the questions, and after this video you definitely know what to ask and how to ask. If you don't know, if you want to know those questions more, I can send to you directly. All you have to do is just text me to my number. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Again, my name is Alek Petrov. If you're thinking to buy or sell in Fort Myers area, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out or answer any questions that you have. If you're a seller, wait. If you're a buyer, pull the trigger. All right, guys. Well, God bless you guys. Stay blessed, stay positive. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.